Next up, welterweight matchup. Gilbert El Dorino Burns taking on one of my favorite fighters, one of the best boxers in the UFC, Jack Della Maddalena. Burns, coming off of a unanimous decision loss to Bilal Muhammad, did hurt his shoulder in the beginning of that fight, gutted it out. JDM coming off of 2 split decision wins versus Kevin Holland. And the one I really want to get into is the one before that, his fight versus Basil Hafez. I think that fight, Jack Della Maddalena versus Basil Hafez, might be telling of how this one goes, because Jack was piecing him up on the feet, and he kept on trying to jump on a guillotine choke. For whatever reason, he engaged in grappling, which isn't his strong suit. And without fail, at least 5 times, Hafez was able to reverse the position, get in mount, do some damage, get some good scoring in the judges' eyes. And Jack almost, I don't want to say let him win that fight, but I feel like he kind of let him back into it. And if you guys know Gilbert Burns, there are 2 different versions of Gilbert Burns, I feel like. When he fights an elite striker, such as Wonderboy Thompson, he just goes straight for the grappling. He doesn't mess around on the feet. But when he fights a good grappler like Kamaru, Hamzat, Bilal, he tries to stand and bang. I don't believe Gilbert Burns will stand and bang with Jack Della Maddalena much at all. I think he's going to go straight for that vintage Gilbert Burns grappling style matchup. But he's 10 years younger, or 10 years older than Jack, and Jack has good takedown defense. So I'm leaning towards Jack here. I think he keeps it on the feet, pieces him up, maybe gets a TKO. What do you feel about this one?
Yeah, I mean, again, you got to look at previous fights. Burns' last win versus Masvidal obviously doesn't look great now. At the time, I don't even think it was that great. Unanimous decision loss to Bilal Muhammad. I do think Bilal Muhammad's better than JDM, but like you said, he has to take him down. I don't know if he can take JDM down. And I also don't know if JDM can finish him on the feet. We've seen Gilbert Burns go the distance with Hamzat, and until I see him fall, I don't believe he can. So I'm all over JDM here, yes, for all the reasons you stated, but I do think it goes the distance.
Yeah, and Gilbert Burns, one thing I had to point out that made me kind of lean towards him more is that ever since he got knocked out by Dan Hooker at lightweight a long time ago, he's only lost to Kamaru Usman, Hamzat, and Bilal. And all those guys are elite grapplers, which Jack Della Maddalena is not. But I also think Burns is just I think he's over the hill. I hate to say it. I love Gilbert Burns, but 37 years old against a prime hungry, violent Jack Della Maddalena.
From a betting perspective, I'd rather be right on time with Gilbert Burns' downfall than like too late.
Agreed. A couple bets I do like though. If you are feeling Gilbert Burns, you could get him by submission for around plus 350. I think if he wins, that's how it would be. Because if he gets Jack to the ground, I think Jack's in a lot of trouble down there. And I don't think he makes it to the end of the round if there's a decent amount of time left. If you want to go JDM by KO, TKO, not very juicy. You could get it for plus 150, or you could get JDM for money line at around, I don't know. Some books vary. Some have said 120. My book said minus 180, so I would just see what it says on fight day, or if it's lower, get it now.
Yeah, I think I got JDM at like minus